I think you mentioned earlier that you bought another vineyard to kind of like have more wine available.
Yeah, I think multifold concept. So when I came here, right, I was mostly in the cellar, and in school we covered viticulture and cellar work. So I had some understanding and some knowledge of viticulture. When we started working here at Privé and I started doing everything, and a little bit of this, a little bit of that, I found that I love the vineyard the most. It's like my
Right.
favorite part. My favorite days working at this business are when I'm out in the vineyard. And so for me, that and seeing it, come totally through the winery from pruning all the way through, growing season, veraison, all the way into harvest and into your cellar the next year. For me, seeing that process really solidified what I already felt strongly about, which is really well taken care of grapes and well stewarded vineyards create really great wine because they create great grapes, right? So I think most of us believe that you can't make really great wine out of mediocre grapes.
Yes.
I think that's a pretty solid, safe bet.
Yes.
And so the decision to bring on another vineyard was, I think, multifold in the sense that it would be great to be able to offer some more estate wines for our clients. And also, the more control you have in the vineyard, the more control you have in the winery. We can tweak things here and there in the vineyard that have a massive impact on the way the wines end up at the end of their time in the cellar.
Right.
And so to be able to have a little bit more control was definitely of focus. And we ended up in Ribbon Ridge.
Okay.
So utilizing another AVA too is really awesome. Kind of expands our portfolio. I love Ribbon Ridge. It was one of those experiences where we weren't really looking. We kind of went out there just to see what was going on. And the minute I walked through the gate, I was like, it was spiritual. I felt connected to that land, and it was overwhelming.
Right.
And it just clicked. It just felt right. I think.
And that's the way it should feel.
Yeah. If you don't feel that way, it's not the right place.
Right. No, it needs to speak to you almost instantly.
Yeah. And it's an incredible piece of property. It is young. It's really young. It says 2021 was our first year pulling in fruit from the vineyard. But it's a bunch of different aspects, north, south, mostly west, a little bit of east, and it is a bunch of varietals. So where here on this estate, Privé proper, we only have Pomard, which is beautiful. But this vineyard is super fun because we have 115, 777, Badensville, and Pomard. So we can do fun blends. We can do some single clone style, lines and wines and stuff like that. So I'm really excited.
That is exciting.
And the wines in the cellar are tasting really good from there. So
beautiful.
I'm pretty excited.
Am I remembering correctly saying that you're going to bring in some Chardonnay?
Yes, we did Chardonnay for the first time in 2021. What a learning curve. I have very limited experience working with white wines, which is why I wanted to bring in a Chardonnay, naturally. And yeah, it's completely different. Honestly, I shouldn't probably say this out loud, but I think it's way more fun to make than red wines. I found it to be really exciting and super stimulating, and probably because it's new, but it was such an adventure. We had beautiful fruit from Dundee come in, and it's awesome. We're so excited. We have 1 barrel, so it's like, don't get too excited. There's not a lot of it.
Well, you're getting outside your comfort zone. That's why it's exciting and everything. But like 1 barrel, right? If it totally goes, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah. We have tons of friends. We'll drink it, porch sipping, whatever. But
or you could have a little privé party or whatever, and bring. And it's like, hey,
it's fun. It's been an adventure. Honestly, it really opened my eyes to winemaking. We've learned a bunch of new things that we can implement in the red world as well, which is pretty cool. Made us much more efficient in our production procedure. It's we had to change a little bit about how we bring fruit in from harvest and how we process it into the cellar. So that was pretty cool. And kind of, we found that it actually works really well for reds, our new
Right.
process as well. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, it's so fun. It's really fun to go to the winery and tasting your reds all the time is really fun. But when you get to that white brown, you're like,
Ooh.
what is it going to be? What's going to happen?
That's awesome.
Is it going to be white? What color? So
Right.
it's been really good. And it's
That's
so
great.
fun. And I don't know. When you start something new, you just read a bunch. And
Right.
I get kind of like a kid in a candy store. I'm like, let's try all the things.
Exactly. You got to.
And yeah, it was really fun.
That's
it was
great.
an adventure. And the fruit was beautiful. We were so lucky to have this fruit. And, almost kind of like so beautiful that it was a little intimidating. But
Right.
But yeah, it tastes really good as well, and so we'll see it out to the end. And
I'm sure it's going to be
we're already
fabulous.
bringing some, not already bringing it in, but we already have some contracts for some white fruit this year as well. So we'll see.
Nice.
I'm pretty excited about it.
That is exciting.
Yeah.